Hi everyone, I'm Kate. I'm an English teacher on Verbling, and today's class is for intermediate learners. In today's class, I will be presenting some different statements, and students will essentially have to express their opinion by saying whether they agree, disagree, strongly agree, or strongly disagree, and why. So some of the topics will be a bit uh, controversial, some current events that might be a bit dicey, but hopefully it will generate some good discussion. So for those of you who are new to Verbling, uh, Verbling is a language learning platform. There are classes available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and all of the classes are taught by native speakers. So if you're interested in learning English or Spanish, you can join group classes online. Okay. All right. So let's see. Hi, Francis. Francis?
Hi,
Hi,
how
how
are
are you?
you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Me too, teacher. I'm resting in my home all day.
Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
Okay. I'm doing well. I'm resting in my home.
You're in your home. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And where are
Yeah.
you from?
Nicaragua,
From
Managua,
Nicaragua.
but yes, but now I'm living in Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Mm.
what are you doing in Providence?
For the moment, I don't have a job, but I take care of my grandson all day and night. My
Okay.
daughter work. I
Oh,
see
okay,
her.
great. Cool, very cool. Okay. Well, it's very nice to meet you, Francis. All right,
Nice to meet you.
and hi, Raphael.
Hi, Caitlin.
How's it going?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Very good, thank you. Okay, and have you met Francis, Raphael?
Mm,
No, no, not yet.
Okay.
Nice to
So,
meet you.
Nice
all right.
to meet you, Rafael. I
Uh,
I have seen another before class, but I do not remember me.
Okay.
okay,
So
sorry.
she's seen you in another class. Okay, no problem. All right. So, great to have you both here. I'm not sure if we'll have any more students, but if no one else joins, then you will have a lot more time to practice speaking. So I think that could be a positive thing. Okay, so I'll give you an idea of what we're going to do in today's class. So essentially, today's class is about discussion and debate and sort of expressing your opinions. So I'm just going to give some statements, to say some statements that might be a little bit controversial or even political. And I want you to say if you agree or disagree with these statements and why. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And just sort of, I want to hear some good discussion between you two. And about halfway through the class, we'll stop and we'll review some of the structures, the phrases, and the grammatical structures that we use or that we have been using to express our opinions, to agree with people, and to disagree politely. Okay? Any questions before we begin? Any questions?
No.
No,
Okay.
no.
All right, good. So, the first topic, single-sex schools are good for education.
Single again, teacher.
Single-sex schools are good for education. So this means having an all-girls school or an all-boys school.
Mm,
Do you understand the question?
yes, I do.
Okay. So, Rafael and Francis, what do you think? Do you agree or disagree with this statement?
I disagree, teacher. I disagree
Okay.
because for me it's interesting that men and girls um, share different ideas, different uh, thoughts about the life. Because when I was younger, I just studied in the college, religious college, only for them. And
Mhm.
it's good because you don't share you don't know uh, opinion the man, and you're not ready for to share many scenes with the man. It's like it's like to have only opinion part of life.
Mhm.
If you have only woman, you speak only the interesting the woman likes.
Right. Okay, so it's important to have diversity of gender in schools.
Yes.
Okay, good. And Rafael, what do you think? Do you agree with her?
Yes, because people uh, people need to socialize, so it's part of the learning process. And since men and women they will live together at certain part of their life, a
Mhm.
certain age, they need to have ways to learn how to live in society. So
Yeah,
I agree with that.
you agree. Yeah, absolutely, right? So you're saying that in real life, in adult life, men and women have to live and work together. So they should get used to it from an early age. Okay, good. All right, good points. Okay, the next statement. Uh, Studying grammar is more important than practicing conversation skills. Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree, teacher.
You disagree.
Uh, yes, because in my case, I the people the American people that I know, they say I write better than speaking, because in my focus maybe is emphasis for writing, because I am journalist, and I need to write better than speaking. But the every part is important for to communicate it. It's important for to get a good job, or important for this development in the society. Is for because the people say it's important to learn English as as when uh, you have when you get language, when you are baby, you first learn to talk,
Mhm.
after to learn writing. And it's a process, but no the structure is important, but to talk is more important to communicate. It's
Okay.
for me. And
Yeah, I agree. I think it depends probably on what your goal is, but absolutely, if you're someone whose profession is to write, then probably, you're a good writer. You're used to writing. You're accustomed to it. One thing, Francis, make sure that you avoid using double prepositions in English, right? I heard important for to. Make sure you say important for.
okay,
Important for. Here, do you know this? We say important for.
important for.
Important for plus a gerund. So something like eating, singing, whatever. Or important to, and then you can use, if you use to, you can use a gerund or an infinitive, depending on the verb. Okay? All right.
Okay.
Good. Okay, very good. All right, so David, you've just joined us. Hi.
Hi, teacher.
How's it going?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Good. Very well, thanks. So we are just doing some discussion and debate. Essentially, I've been reading some statements that are meant to be a little bit controversial, and the students have just been sharing their opinions. And so what we want to practice is expressing your opinion and respectfully agreeing or disagreeing with someone else's opinion.
Okay.
Okay. And so right now, Frances was just sharing her opinion on this sentence. Studying grammar is more important than practicing conversation skills. So let's see, Raphael, did you agree with what Frances was saying?
Partially, I think. I think both have the same level of importance.
Okay.
Some people are reluctant in study grammar because sometimes it's boring, but it's important to study. We need to know how to create sentences, and so I think it's useless. You know how to express yourself. You might have great skills in English. You might read a lot and have great ideas to discuss, but it's useless if you don't have the right grammar to talk with people, to deal with people, to relate with, to express your ideas. So, in my opinion, they have the same level of importance.
Okay. Good. You think they have the same level. And David, what do you think? Do you agree?
Well, I disagree because the conversation skills is more important. You can talk with other people if you have vocabulary and you understand what they're saying, but the grammar is important if you are gonna write something or you're gonna take a test to go to a college.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Good. Yeah. So again, kind of like what the others were saying, it depends on what your goal is for English, right? It really depends on what your goal is. If you want to get a job, working in a clothing store, you're going to need to learn a different type of English than if you want to get a PhD or a doctoral degree in English, right? So things like that. Okay, good. Let's change topics completely. So the next sentence, wild animals should not be kept in captivity. Wild animals should not be kept in captivity. What do you guys think about this?
Teacher, I can hear well. Can you put the question in the chat, please?
Sorry, yes, it's in the, I have been typing in the Verbling box.
Okay.
Do you have the Verbling app?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I typed it here. Wild animals should not be kept in captivity? I'll post it in the chat box also. Class, do you agree or do you disagree?
Mhm. I think many animals, many animals don't need to be in captivity. For example, the lion, the tiger, the uh, the wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and what about zoos? You think zoos are bad?
Yes, it's about because it's another way
Another
to
way to,
know to know the animal.
not for
You can visit the ocean, for example, in my country. The turtles is a in the season is a moment is opportunity for to see that the turtle how they the reproduction is a the best experience that I had because it's hundreds that turtle um appear in the coast in the sands. It's a beautiful it's a beautiful view.
Okay, so it's more interesting to see them in their natural environments.
Yes.
Okay, and remember, Francis, another way to, not another way for to. Right?
Okay.
Okay, good. All right, very good. David and Raphael, what do you think?
Well, it's in my opinion, it's relative. It depends on the species. Some species are endangered. So unfortunately, due to human colonization, they practically lost all their environment of living. So it's hard to establish a new place for them to live. A new place of living for them. So in my opinion, these specific species, they should be held in captivity, but only with to preserve their their species,
Okay,
just to
very.
maintain.
Okay, and then once they become repopulated, would you release them back into the wild?
Yes, yes. I think
Maybe.
with this specific purpose, I think it's plausible and
Okay,
acceptable.
very interesting. Interesting opinion. Okay, any other thoughts on this?
No, just sounds.
Okay, good. Very cool. And you, David, did you want to comment?
I'm not a biologist, but I don't know if I would an animal. I think I would prefer to live in captivity
Ah, okay.
because I would be a celebrity. Many people will take pics of me. I would I would have food enough. On the other hand, if I would live in the forest, I could be the food of other animal.
It's true. Okay, I love that, David. That's very interesting. So
Yeah,
he said, if I were an animal, I would prefer to live in captivity because you would be a celebrity. And it's true.
yeah,
It's true. So I grew up in Washington, D.C., and the panda bears at the zoo, are like more famous than the president, right? They're so famous. Everyone comes to see these pandas and takes pictures and whatever. So it's true.
Yeah.
And I loved his answer because he used the second conditional tense, right? Which
Yeah.
you all know I love my conditionals. So he said, he used it perfectly, right? If I were, this is the second conditional, right? If I were, past tense, and then in
Yes.
the main clause using would. Okay, so very good.
Okay.
All right, great. Any other comments on this?
Well, I don't think pandas are really interested in being famous. I think they're more worried about other things. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's true, right? So maybe from a human perspective, we think it's cool that they get so much attention, but do the animals really like it? We don't know. We don't know. Okay. All right, let's change topics. Uh, next statement. There should be random drug testing in schools.
sorry, what do you mean about random?
Random, meaning, mm, how would you translate random? So something, when something is random, it means it is not systematic. So it's not that every student will be tested every day. It's we'll choose by chance, 5 students from this class, just because we say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You 5 chosen for no particular reason will be tested today, right? So it's not. So there's no like bias and there's no stereotyping. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Ah,
So
well, I
what do you?
think this is important to do this, and people, the high school, uh, mm, more important. For example, in my country, is there an in the co in the high school,
Mhm.
uh, they do a test uh, one time for months,
Oh, they
and
do it once every 4 months. Okay.
yes, in for the reason they detected for boys they was consumed drugs and and that procediments
That
and
procedure. It's a
yes
procedure.
yes allow uh, the you can take um, how do you say uh, take taker no take address the young people
That you can what? Sorry,
uh,
I didn't
they
hear the last part.
they 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 they, uh, they allow the no contamination arrest the young people.
Ah, okay. All right. So you're saying that this policy was used in your country and it worked effectively.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but I guess the question is this compromising individual rights or freedoms?
No, it's a compromise the school because they have a machine that and one time a month they have a random test.
Mhm.
For example, it's not. they don't have noticed before. When they pass for the machine, they detect if the younger has consumed drugs.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Good. Boys, what do you think?
I partially agree.
Okay.
Uh, I agree with the fact we must perform this broadcast in schools, but not about the random because uh, which parameters we will define to select people for this test?
Hmm.
Okay, the color of the skin or the gender or what else?
The idea
So
is that we're not choosing by any of those parameters, right? The idea, if it's random, then if you're white, you're just as likely to be tested as if you're black, as if you're Hispanic, whatever. In theory. In
yes,
theory.
yes, but I think this will create a lot of controversy and people won't accept this freely.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, either we pick all the students and do the test at the same time, or we don't do. Is my opinion.
Okay. All right. So I should be test everyone or test no one.
Yes.
All right. Interesting. Other comments or reactions? What do you think about this?
What? What?
So, what? So my question was, what do you think of Raphael's comments? He said that uh, there's no way that these tests would actually be fair and random, that they should either test all of the students or test none of the students. So it's really fair.
Teacher, are you asking for
Oh,
Rafael or
no,
for
sorry,
us?
I'm asking from you two, from David and from Francis. Sorry.
Okay,
What you think of this?
then I disagree because I think if it is privacy invasion, like a privacy invasion.
An invasion of
If
privacy.
yeah, if a person want to use drugs, so they can use drugs.
Okay. All right, that's their right. It's their personal choice.
Yes,
Okay. All right. So you kind of are disagreeing here. Uh,
yes.
good. So Raphael and Francis, what do you think of this? I want to hear your reactions.
Uh, my opinion is disagree because the consumes the drugs is increase are increasing in the many countries and more in the capital is the people the younger people are exposed at the drugs is important to change say policy that that concern the health the younger people
Mhm.
for example, if the test is part the a policy the school the the partner accepts the policies and and the people the school they had more responsibility
Mhm.
that create conscious for help for themselves because it's for taker, no?
Okay. Yeah. So you're saying that if it's sort of a very fundamental part of the school's policy, then it's something that won't be controversial. It will be accepted. Okay, good. All right, any other comments on this subject?
I believe people have to change their mindset regarding the fact that they might feel their privacy invaded.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Since I think they are only doing something to protect their lives, because as Francis mentioned, the drug trafficking and other rates related to violence have increased a lot these last years. So,
Yeah.
in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, just to protect their lives, and people might have to understand. Since schools, it's the citizen is being raised, is being educated, so it's the best way to to share this new vision, I think.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Any other thoughts? Okay. Good. I like to hear sort of different opinions and a little bit of disagreement. Very good. Okay. Um, so, next statement. Marriage is an outdated institution. Sorry, I can hear you. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to mute Frances because she was talking to someone. Okay. All right. So, marriage is an outdated institution. Okay. So, what do you think about this? Do you know what it means to be outdated?
Yes,
Okay. What does it mean?
it is not used in
Yeah. It's
the
good. It's something of the past, right?
yes.
Something of the past. Okay. Good. All right. So, marriage is an outdated institution. What do you think about this?
I agree.
You agree? Okay. Tell me why.
I don't know. People are divorcing more frequently.
Are getting
Uh,
divorced more frequently?
yeah, it's easy to
Mhm.
divorce.
Mhm.
I feel sad about that, but is what is that what happened today?
Okay. All right.
I hope the things change.
You hope things change, but you think it really is outdated.
Yeah,
Okay. Raphael, what do you think?
Uh, Unfortunately, I agree with David. Marriage nowadays it's something people might not consider anymore as it was considered in the past, especially for women, because women are they are raised since they are a child. They are raised with the vision of wedding and using that dress, that beautiful dress, and the party and the cake and everything.
Mhm.
But nowadays they don't have this feeling anymore. I think they don't. They are not educated in this way of marriage. I think just find a man and start living together, and
Mhm.
um, it's enough for them. Since uh, the rate of divorce has also increased. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so you agree. My question would be, do you think that this would be harmful for children if they feel like maybe their family is not as stable, if their parents are not, married or don't stay together? Just a question.
I think that marriage it depends on the way in which the children is being educated.
Mhm.
Uh, I think it's all involved in the education. So even with the married family, if they don't give the right education for the children, teaching the right values, it's worthless whether the fact where they are or not married.
Okay.
So yes, I don't think it's a matter of education. It's relative. It's not a specific rule about it. I think.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So you think it's really about what values are instilled in the children, regardless of whether the parents are married.
Yes.
Okay. One thing, when we say, so in English, this is really only a mistake with, it's not a mistake, but it's something that tends to happen with Spanish speakers. And you say, when we say educate in English, we're mostly talking about school education. So like learning things in school. When we talk about learning to be polite and to have good values, we call that more disciplining our children or sort of raising our children well. So we don't to educate doesn't have exactly the same meaning in English as it does in Spanish. Just a small comment. Okay? All right. Let's see. Francis, are you there?
I'm sorry for to disconnect in a moment because I moved the room because it's loud.
Ah, okay, no problem.
Yes,
Okay. All right, so we were just talking about the sentence we said was marriage is an outdated institution, and both of your classmates agreed. What do you think?
I disagree, teacher, because in my personal life, the if you have a bad memory and people fighting every day, and the children was violence, was uh, the people don't have good respect is not good for the when the children grow out. It's not good for nothing because you know you see many trouble in the family, but is both they have a good harmony or good atmosphere and they get respect. They have they are focused for to have a good family is is another reality. But in the most case, the today the is more divorce than people. The children grow in family in divorced family, no?
Okay, so
For me, no. For me, the marriage not is the important institution. Is more that you have a children with good uh, personality, emotional. The
okay.
effect is better when the people when the children live in good atmosphere.
Okay, but Raphael was just saying that that can happen. Children can have these values without marriage or without their parents being married. They can have the same values. What do you
No,
think? No, you don't think so.
no, I think so. The marriage no is no warranty that the child grow out with good values. No, because the you see a partner married, but you're not sure if they have a good values for to give the children, no? Not always. Maybe in some cases, but maybe no.
Okay, so maybe you're saying that. Okay, so you really think that marriage is important for these values. Okay, so again we have some disagreement, which is interesting. Okay, so I want to pause for a second and just talk about some of the structures, the phrases that we've been using to express our opinions, to agree, and to disagree. So first, what are some of the ways that we can use to express our personal points of view? So phrases like "in my opinion," basically. Some other ways we can say that.
I think that.
Yeah, simple but very effective. I think, or I think that.
I believe.
Good. I believe. I believe, or I believe
My
that.
opinion.
In my opinion. In my opinion. Absolutely.
In my point of view.
From my point of view.
From my point of view.
From my point of view. Absolutely. Any others? Okay. Some other ways you can say this are, I'd say that, personally, I think that. So when you say, well, personally, it's a way of saying, in my point of view, I think that. As far as I'm concerned, okay, so just a few extra, or you can also say, I'd like to point out that, right? And this means when you want to show something, right? When you want to give evidence for your opinion, especially. And so these are just some ways that you can vary, that you can change, or use. You can use these phrases so you're not always repeating I think, or in my opinion, right? So try to vary the way you introduce your opinions using these phrases. Okay. What about if you want to agree with someone else's opinions? How can you say that you agree with someone? Besides, yes, I agree.
I share the opinion.
I share your opinion. That sounds a little bit formal, but it's not incorrect. It sounds a little bit formal. What else can we say? I'll give you a few more. Sorry?
I have the same opinion.
I can't hear what you said.
I have the same opinion.
I have the same opinion. Okay, yeah, you could say I have the same opinion. Again, it's not, it doesn't sound that natural, but it's absolutely correct. You can also say things like, of course, right? Of course. Or, I think so too. I think so too. Or if you wanted to do the negative, how would you say that? So I think so too, but negative.
I don't think so too.
I don't think so either.
Either.
Okay. I don't think so either, right? Or you could say that's a good point, right? We say this one a lot. We say that's a good point, or simply good point, right? We say simply good point. Okay. Let's see. We've Alex. Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How's it going?
Yeah, great. I just find this amazing website and join your class.
Ah, okay, no problem. Wonderful. So we're actually almost towards the end of the class, but that's okay. Right now we're
Okay.
just reviewing some phrases, some of the ways we've been expressing our opinions, so introducing our opinions, and then right now we're talking about different ways of saying I agree. So you're not always repeating yourself. And
Oh,
then and then for the end of class, we'll just do some little mini discussions again. So you
yeah.
can feel free to participate in those. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So, all right. And so, what about quickly? Let's review some other ways of saying that you disagree. So, what are some synonyms for saying I disagree? Okay, so I'll give you some ideas. All right, so you can say, I'm not so sure about that. This is a way to soften your disagreement, right? You're not saying you're wrong, right? You're
Yes.
saying, I'm not so sure about that, and then you explain. You could say, however, da da da. On the contrary, da da da. You can even, if you want to be very polite, you can say, yes, but don't you think, and then sort of make a suggestion and say your opinion. But don't you think, you know, that girls would benefit from single-sex education because blah blah blah. All right, so things like that. Okay, so really what I want you to do, so we'll continue with these little discussions for the rest of class, and I want you to try to incorporate these different ways of stating your opinion, of agreeing, and of disagreeing into your answers. So really try to vary the structures you're using. Okay, any questions before we continue? Okay. So the next statement, and again, just feel free to speak up whenever you want, telling me whether you agree or disagree and why, is uh, downloading music without paying for it is morally equivalent to theft, to stealing.
I disagree.
Okay? Why?
Why I do that?
Because you do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't wanna go to the jail for downloading music.
You don't want to go to jail for downloading music. Okay, so this one is
Yeah.
personally relevant to you. All right, fair enough. And the rest of you, what do you think? Do you agree with him?
Yes, I agree with him because I also download music.
You also download music illegally, so you agree.
Yes.
All right, good. Alex, Francis?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think probably it's a morally problem. I think it's not fair for
Mhm.
the singer, for the artist. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's probably common sense in China. we can download the free music from the website.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I think it's not fair.
It's not fair for the artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Francis, what about you?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's I maybe I agree in part because is I is I can buy original DVD.
Mhm.
Uh, Maybe I would like to download music, and but in the is I work artist, I would like to protect my 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 wife the products my DVD, my songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can empathize with the point of view of the artist. Absolutely. Okay, so it's kind of like personally you don't want to have to pay for it, is what a lot of you have said, but you understand that it's probably not the best or most fair thing. Okay, let's change topics. Prisoners should be allowed to vote. Again, try to use these different structures that we just talked about. Prisoners should be allowed to vote.
Yes, I agree. In my opinion, prisoners have rights too. They have problems in the prison, and they have the rights to choose the next government.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so they have rights too. They're like everyone else. Other opinions?
I agree with that, Davi said. Yeah, because you have
Why?
I think maybe maybe they just did the illegal things and hurt the peoples, and we just put them into prison. I think a vote uh, is a basic human being's right. And yeah,
Okay.
even people don't forgive them, but they still have the right to vote, to
Okay.
choose. Yeah.
All right, but what about people who say that really violent criminals or people who are rapists or have committed really horrible crimes, that they have or have mental issues, people who say they shouldn't be able to vote? What do you think in that case? Just a question. Okay, if no one has any other thoughts, that's okay. Any other comments on this?
Since criminals, they are not, since this kind of criminals committed these worst crimes, they might not have in the right thinking. They don't have, maybe their minds are not prepared for choose the right government, or I don't think they are really, I don't think they are able to choose the governance.
Okay. All right, so yeah, we have some disagreement. Any responses?
Actually, I think maybe the felony criminals, because their choice didn't have a negative effects about the result of our voting, because most people have a common mental. Yeah.
Okay. All right, interesting. Good. Okay. I think we have time for one or two more topics. So, let's see. Hold on, what is my next sentence? Okay. All nations have a right to nuclear weapons. Do you agree or disagree?
Yes, I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me why.
Because recently the Israel government called the Brazilian government of a little man in the I don't know the name, the kind of discussion about peace.
In like a peace talk, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if the Brazil have nuclear weapons, they don't sell that.
Okay, so they might not be so they might think
Yeah,
differently of Brazil. Okay,
yeah.
all right. Responses or other comments?
I disagree. I opposite nuclear weapons because you know the most people is vitamin the world is many million people are vitamin the violence. For example, now right now in Gaza, Israel, and another part of the world, many child, many people, many innocent people, they suffer the consequence of war.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're
And for
suffering
me,
the consequences.
for example, it exists many ways for to get the peace and resolve the problem between
Mm-hmm.
government. No es necessary the war for me, no?
Okay, so war is not the solution.
I
Okay.
like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, good.
I agree. I agree. I think every country has the right to have nuclear weapons because we're not discussing if they should have. Because if we start to discuss which country should have nuclear weapons, no one has this. No one should have weapons. We must get rid of nuclear weapons, but I don't think it's fair. A single country has and others don't have the right to have.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different points of view. There are different approaches about this term. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think all countries have the right to have, but they shouldn't have. I think.
Okay. All right, yeah, so you're saying that, yeah, okay, good. Good thoughts. All right, any last thoughts on this topic? Okay, I'm sorry to end on, we're running out of time. I'm sorry to end on such a serious topic. But anyway, I want to thank all of you for participating and for being patient and respectful and listening to one another. Alex, welcome to Verbling. I hope that you enjoy the site and you find
Nice
a
to
lot
meet
of
you guys.
interesting classes. Nice to meet you. And for the rest of you, I hope to see all of you again soon. And I hope you have a great day or a great night. Okay?
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you,
All
teacher.
right.
Nice to
Bye.
meet you.
Yeah, thanks so
Bye.
much.
Have a good one.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.